Another song catching the trend. We are separating the boys from the men. My name is D Cram, 6-star general. Oshe Divine Media Ghana. Keep it locked right here. Oko baby cram at Tolampo.
Abusia abwa kotrese de otobo abono no. Ne ho nya na hi said ye ogina nchen na okakire ne se wani gene. Abusia Okatakyie Afrifa ne backing vocalist ensem bi a omode ahyehye so no. Bullgod wanya mescore. Sa eso na NDC omo national chairman Asiedu Nketia Abusia kase hit and sama odi ahyehye so ana afi ne reaction to CJ Metrech suspended Chief Justice ne press conference a obeye no Abusia and sama a wabeka afa ho no enye ensem ketwa sa eso na Electoral Commission boss Mensah ana afi ne 2 deputies omunyina omanya mescore in this video. Me bomodin na mago ni into details e the amount mesrew say on subscribe ya obe click subscribe button so na fi wa click bell notification icon for latest updates. Obetumi follow on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram and afi X babia DEVINE Media Ghana. Sa so na mesrew say obe like video na wa share e the amount afi feel free na chere wadwen comment section ho. Ma memfa aseda ema A1 Detergent Company Limited omo na asomasen ema me de sa news and ase update ba besom A1 se men kan cho se wope alata se na make sure wope liquid soap wope bar soap a odi besi niama after wash ade bia eye detergent no okopie omo amaso ye ho no ma ombenye bi ama omo niama no papa quality omo seminar ni bi na mdi dware na ama me skin no atoso saa no opo ma kira kwan a ebia open dodo atu akwakugu shop akwakoton sisi a Ivory Coast nyina ye bi call me pa charge number we na frɛ 0545 074743 and as 0244 877-956 ohwe ma kira kwan a oboase chechere eho na obehu omo A1 Detergent Company Limited or say abatan ati asem de A1 product papa eso na traffic foods SMN country say wo UK wo US wo Canada na say wo pay local food Ghana ye nduane a ye wo ha no bi te say waache tuezafi ene de ka ho de a ene e bomodin na kopie mu wo omaso ye okopie ho no ma omoye order omoye delivery service de wo pay bia no omo de bebrew enti bomodin na fa number na da screen na se no na place you order sisi a traffic foods or si eduane papa fie enti abusuan eba no suspended CJ the press conference I obey ye ho nsensem dia bebre and me be catch say Captain Kojo Smart and afi Kevin Taylor kra no abebobo omadwen e de amana oma kirekire ensem mu go into details and NDC national chairman Asiedu Nketia ekopie mu wo Joy News na abusuan ensem a ode akwahyehye so wo ho de enya asem ketwa Chief Justice ema enya ntie se ne suspension no politically motivated ochirem say ade a NDC for no planned to honum ansa omoba power say omoba kian ne ken omobeyi no sa eso na baabi a omaje anase venue a omoye ne investigation no krampo no anase omototo na no ono ohu ni say NDC ene John Dramani Mahama His Excellency and afi committee no selected sa place ni say omode be kai ne ya because of near uncle we are a free mu in the 1981 abusuan Captain Kojo Smart ene Kevin Taylor oma be clear na abusuan eno ena sansem we a travel akwakoduru chairman Asiedu Nketia nim na abusuan ensem a ode ahyehye so wo ho de enya asem ketwa o kirem se Chief Justice ontumunda na ono ena nke wo se oba na oba kirekire ensem nimu de kire Ghanafo ma Ghanafo ehu processor ekoso na enye ono ena wo se obetena ho na obeye Ghanafo nyina mu nsoli o na eyemunti ena yeyemisi enye ono na wo se oba na obesu ono mom na wo se o kirekire mbra nimu de kire Ghanafo.
I've heard that in democracy you don't touch the judiciary. So who corrects the judiciary?
It corrects itself.
That is why it is correcting itself, because the Constitution shows how judiciary corrects itself.
The Chief Justice disagrees, at least the suspended Chief Justice. She did an unprecedented press conference, and something she said Quote, I have also heard several commentaries in the media about how this process was born out of a stated political agenda to remove me and control the judiciary, and that it is a political effort that can only result in a charade of a hearing that is played out.
Tell me, apart from this process that is ongoing, the existing judiciary which she left, which part of it has been tampered with by the NDC government?
She's a figurehead. If you touch her, you touch her.
No, I know. This is the first thing that is being touched. But we are using the existing structures that she superintended over to do that work. So if the judiciary was good when she was head, why does she think that the judiciary is not capable of undertaking this assignment of removing her in a fair manner?
Because she believes that the politicians in your party are manipulating that structure to get her out.
So is the judiciary capable of being manipulated by politicians? If that is the case, then it justifies every effort to reset the judiciary so that in future it never gets manipulated by politicians. Listening to her during these press conferences,
you listened?
It appears that everything that is happening in the judiciary now is wrong. But we haven't changed the judiciary she is superintended over. So if she thinks that the judiciary that existed is capable of being manipulated by politicians and so on, then she's confirming that there is a need for reset in the judiciary. So it should assist us to reset the judiciary.
By doing what? When you say she should assist you, how can she assist you?
By complying with the law and then the processes that are there, cooperating with the committee as much as possible to state her case with the committee instead of press conferences.
Is she right when he says this was plotted even before you won power?
Who plotted it?
He says stated political agenda. So
is it possible for a political agenda to be executed by the judiciary which she superintended over? If that is it, nothing has changed. But I'm asking you, what have we changed in the judiciary which he was heading? We haven't changed anything. All the judges are the same judges that existed when she was heading. And she was proclaiming that the law is the law, the processes are there, the 7-0, 9-0, unanimous 7, unanimous. They were the same thing. So the only difference is that she is now at the receiving end of the work of the same unanimous 7. So what has changed?
If you listen...
And if now she's realizing that injustice can be delivered by the judiciary she was heading, then he should help us. He should agree with us that there is a need to reset the judiciary so that in future we rid it of all political manipulations.
I know you are a student of history also, and today she cited history. Mm-hmm. She says that the venue for the hearing, which is the Edu Lodge, has historical links to the murder of the judges, and that place was deliberately chosen. Of course, there was a request from the committee, and the state said use that venue. She says that was deliberately chosen to intimidate her.
What were the castles meant for? They were meant for, slave trade, where people were tortured in the dungeons and so on. After independence, we had to use the Christianborg Castle until recently. So that argument is neither here nor there. The structure itself can torture you. I don't think she's making a strong point, in my view.
She says she's
just playing to the gallery.
You think she is?
Yes. Just trying to court public sympathy, which she doesn't deserve.
Why?
That's my opinion. It doesn't deserve, because this is a structure you yourself have used in the past. You were shouting in your courtroom that the law is the law. So have we changed the laws? We haven't. Have we changed any of the judges she was operating with? We haven't. Have we passed any legislation that has changed the procedures and processes in the judiciary she was heading. We haven't changed anything. So if that judiciary had been delivering or administering justice to ordinary citizens, why on earth should he be thinking that she's a special human being who should be treated differently?
She says she's been threatened. She's received threats. People have threatened to harm her. You have no sympathy at all.
As a citizen, if you receive threats, what do? You report to the police. She should go and report to the police. Or you think that when she was a judge, you could just walk into the court and say that I have received threats, so the court should do something. You report to the police, give your evidence to the police. The police will do the investigation, and if it is worth prosecuting, they bring the matter to court. So she is the #1 judge in the country, and she doesn't want to apply the law. Instead of reporting to the police, she's shouting at press conferences, making claims. If somebody calls her and threatens her, how are we supposed to know that her claim that she has been threatened is true or not true? Who is going to pick her phone to check whether they were indeed threats or no threats? So if she believes in what he is claiming, the best place to go is to report to the police, tender the evidence, let them do the investigation, and if somebody ought to be arrested and prosecuted, let them do that. But this thing of shouting at press conferences and so on, I don't think that is. She's not showing us the way, and she is a lawyer. She's supposed to show us the Pawani tappers, the way to handle such threats.
That is Johnson Asiedu Nketia. I'm going to take, he says he's a pine wine tapper.
Enti abusia in same way, and Chairman Asiedu Nketia can edify Chief Justice on. Na owie and a presenter no ebisa say, na sisia no, ye share ablikuma nota, ye to abawie 6 months ni are still omuni member of parliament. Enti no sisia no ye hu say resetting no moni abre a more reset Ghana. Enti no electoral commission ho so eden na mo ye ho abusua Jane Mensah wenya mesco saaso na bossman asare na afi one deputy a ono so ka ho omo ye 3 omo nyina omo nse omo sapo mu nsuo na omo nse omo hodin na omo kosoro ene betim be ye pekura na yibe yi omo adi.
That we still have a Black Manor that is outstanding.
Yeah.
That must be something that must be on your top list of concerns. That 6 months on election after the election, we still don't have an elected member of parliament. Well, what are you doing about it as a chairman?
We are having a wrong election management body in place, and so that is a subject of reset in future.
Resetting the EC.
Sure.
What does that mean?
It means that bringing it back into an institution that is fit for purpose. The way it is existing now, it's not fit for purpose. Because you cannot have, with all the laws that we have, you cannot still be having an election that will go into a stalemate. There is no anticipation of any stalemate in elections in any of our laws, unless people don't want to do their work well. And so it's a clear case of, negligence or inability to perform its functions. So it's a good reason why the Electoral Commission needs to be reset. And that is not the only issue. Remember, 4 years ago, there was the issue of SAL. A whole constituency went unrepresented for 4 years. And then, so when this commission, as presently constituted, took over the reins of the Electoral Commission, they have never done an election that is satisfactory. These 2 major elections, the first one constituency went unrepresented for 4 years, and then their second election is this one. And then with the by-elections, Ayawaso West, Wogon, everything has been removed. So there is overwhelming evidence that this commission is not fit for purpose. And if any serious country will want to maintain this type of electoral commission, then I don't know what the country is about.
So there will be a change at the EC leadership?
There has to be a change.
Mensah must go?
Yes, I think the 3 top leadership must all go.
So that will be the chairperson herself and her 2 deputies.
Yeah.
Mensah, then Boxman Asari, and I believe you've been working. He's not always in the news.
Tete.
Tete.
They must all go. They have mismanaged the commission so badly.
Their positions, though, are positions protected under the Constitution. They're guaranteed tenure.
But the Constitution has given us the path to remove them. There is no appointee or state functionary who cannot be removed under this Constitution. There's a procedure of removing the president. There's a procedure of removing Speaker of Parliament. That's why there's a procedure for removing Chief Justice. Everybody has, a way of holding them accountable. Because if you make an appointee or a state functionary who is not accountable to anybody, there's no way to hold them to check, then you breed a monster. And so when you look through the Constitution, everybody in the Constitution can be changed. I'll have issue if they are changed through the wrong means. But if they are changed through the constitutionally stipulated means, democracy is working.
Somebody needs to bring a petition. Will the NDC sponsor one?
I'm expecting you to sponsor one because many of the shortcomings, you've been talking about them here.
I don't have any grievance with them. So I have no reason to.
Anybody, any of the 32 million Ghanaians can bring a petition.
Eti abusuya no. Chairman Asiedu Nketia chiremu se sisia no resetting Ghana no omani abriye pa. Enti ne sawe institution na wo man we mu na on perform a ti ase se wo ye den a resetting no ebeduru so. Na na mesre omo se ECG boss a wo Ashanti region ye besre omo a omo ma sa resetting we ebi nso no so because onye na adwuma yie mame nkomanim abusia na yembo emfanwura mu ewo Okatakyie Afrifa ene ne backing vocalist Omakache abusia ne nyina ejina Sharaf Mahama ne boxing event a organize ye ema ehonsem ebe bebere ewo intintan fidie no so abusia wo beka ya Okatakyie Afrifa ne question ene ne fireman a wo de hyehyɛ so no eno ene ko generate ensensem bebere bukom bankum ni ade nyina no threaten so wambe pachewa ombebono ni nyina me di sa video so no abrɛw enti sɛ wanya bi anhwɛ a me link ewo description ase na wakɔpɛ sa video no ahwɛ ɛno ɛna over the weekend ewo United Showbiz so ɛna ɔmko raise sa topic we ɛde bae ɛna Bullgod a ɛnkane na yɛfrɛ no Bulldog no ɔno de ɔse ɔwɔ message ɛde ma ɔmo a ɔmo criticize sa event ni nyina especially nipa ɔma sa de ewe ebeji ntre ha ewo intintan fidie no so na abusua madi nkan aka akire o se obi bu ba yenso yetebe abusua ensem wei na Bullgod edituja
to start with His Excellency Dramani Mahama no ono na mo no oni sika on like tomo ebenoko mi like be say wa kunu ni masi like oni hwe only bibia intini babe ya they are to me supporting. You see, sometimes you listen to some people and you like I'm sure I'm drum mo ehwe alo omu da mpaso omu sorry a omu ja omu adwen wo pillow ni so yes no am da betena social media no omu kan like fashion awe mo honestly sometimes you just don't I mean tia say guy will start your friend is saying guy being a status and nonsense but now money dey mean kind dimpo that's that's good Ushenu cry it doesn't even make any sense it doesn't make sense. You know, we've seen the effort the young man has been putting into boxing for ages. Then you just come up and spew nonsense because you have a mic in front of you. Sometimes you use your drink a crana intina nyakupo my opportunity na one year kakalika no or kakalika.
Kakalika.
What is not what the kind there was it fair?
Okay,
cockroach.
So, oh, okay, cockroach.
Cockroach, yes. Nyankopon bet me about cockroach. Allo agama lizard. Go no wa fi ne get down no claw ni bi. So what dream yama o bo mojibo. Onusi. What have you here tomorrow? Olu tomorrow na na me neighbor. No, Charlie. I think that you see so those of these laws that I don't know. I think we should revise them where we should apply hands. One will be the assembly na ya kwa chana sum ni na I say law ni
it would have created chaos.
O no create. You say guiding no.
Say otia oka say say oka say obi asem nyansa ni mi ka to ano nto abo
no problem. Obetumi a. Say no de no na me kan there will be guy. So obetumi a no about president ban only appointment here. A man appointment. Unlike the SWAL government we saw whose daughter was in charge of what? On one private business person or nadia, then you come and compare him to the former president's daughter. For I mean, because we're saying we want to do rebuttal politics, and I say, like I drink brain was what's the substance? We should support to me support is what sometimes you see some people they make sense with their mouth closed.
Yeah. Say kwase akra nkasa ebunya.
Good. Oh, so omu nja jimenu no ma ya adwin yen fan drink. E pamucho.
Why this obe kan waka.
Entino ana de sansem we ebeto odwa pepepe na Okatakyie Fíres ono ankasa tena ase ena odikodi nsem na hu se Debi asem a Bullgod kan de so obo ni din se wan bo ni din eyo no ana sem ena omo kana abusua me se ensem a ne backing vocalist no message ene fireman a oma sene ede ama United Showbiz crew ni nyina afei despite media ene Bullgod abusia yenti on
General yenya ni ade
no hini
ade na asesi
discuss wo
omo discuss me e wo he
show bi abaso
see
nim say political show
political show
entertainment o
ana ye
say ye we o and na ko bi ani mebubu se konto
nani mo bubu se konto wo ye dai
o nkanyansa sem ba ko
onkanyansa sem wo ye hwan ya
akoyi akraman din da no so yi
kraman din na da no so ana wo kan bie ana ye dai osima ye dai
se wako kan sharafa sem
maka sharafa sem enti aye dai
onti bida
onti akosua enti aye dai onti bida enti dia bai
bisebio
enti dia ya menka nyansesem
sa
aye munya no ndo kanya asesem menene ti kom ha menim dia yenim Ghana fo be hunu ye oka nyansasem ema ye kokun bi woni da mu a ye baba hwehwe no so ne kokun no so onim so onim nyansa kasa ka on kasa to a point ye kokun bi woni da mu a woni ye baba chewo na do oka nyansasem no ana ye ne ade otimi kasa me ya che no kasa enyewe na nipa kramandi na da no so dia mo fana se wonko ni anya adwuma why
enti abusua eno no na edidi atemwe di anu odin enti abusua we ni ensem a me de aba besom a chairman Asiedu Nketia ekire mu a the chief justice ye no ohunu nyansa bia ewom saa eso ena electoral commission boss Mensah ena afei ni deputies omunyina no omonhye omosapom nsuo na omonhye omhoden omokosoro eba form any betin be pekura na yebeyi omadi esanse omonyo omadwuma yi saa eso ena Bullgod ena sisia wabekeka insensem ma Okatakyie Fíres ene ne backing vocalist na mese saa oba bi na wabeka ho no wo na enum nsem no esen mema na odi nkan de omo start ye no ono onka bi na so obie na no a enye abusia mesrew se obekire wadwen comment section ho se on subscribe ya me subscribe button no na click the bell notification icon for latest update meda wase said dani da nyina uba Divine Media Ghana na obepe o trending stories and say latest news eha ena nipa ni nyina ewo entitena ha ya Follow you on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X. Baby, a Divine Media Ghana. Kai say Divine DEVINE. Aseda Enkoma Traffic Foods. Sa Esona A1 Detergent Company Limited. Midin Edikujumes Macrow.
Samina intwehuro
enema wusi na okasa bebere se
eja una no samina ne de enye maposa bibi kakra bi aka maposa enko maposa se intwehuro mpo
we de ma okasa anya tintimi ba mpo medru station ma wonsen
wa mama no kura so wasa no foforo sen ba
wo de ti de mekan medru station ma twa gu samina bi so me se fe A1 so de meje bi si we de we ankrofo gu so station ne de we de be pu ahuro pa
wo de okra de bi ba we de be o san de be ha ma
wo de try ne yan hwe
wait
A few moments later.
Hey, I know the judge by idea. Ayo,
me wa ha na me hwe program bi kwa oti.
Any Jana de mabo ba so na say friend saying.
Hey, say me do just for gu so an say nyasam ke.
Hey, any about time right. Where dey puka.
Oni esamana. Ase mu yan ka me to bebirom.
E da dey nya pra to dodo na dey ye we na to bi enu pe. Ene ka ho no ma nkwa nya otumri ka ho na ya wadwo mo namba ama me. Na me ti akodwa.
Ka onsu betimi afra A1 ewa ahomabofo iso 054 507 4743 054 507 4743 na wonso so jiwo ba soap alata samina after wash parazone na se wo hwehwe A1 na kira kwan a obo ase chechere ehonnom A1 asuye na ewo se wutu ana se wo pese wo to ne mako A1 Company Limited abatai yatsi asemde
A1 seminar